Hey everybody, welcome back, fellow action figure and comic and nostalgia aficionados. David Eon here in the Open by Chance Vintage Toy Museum, and having a little bit of a discussion with you, as it were, about autographs and the direction the autograph market has gone in the last couple of decades, the last 10 years especially, but in the last couple of decades versus how it was when I was first involved in shows and promotions, going way back to the early 90s. And, just to make the point here, if you are someone who goes out and seeks autographs because you genuinely enjoy just having a signature from a specific person on a comic book, on 8x10 photo, on whatever, that's fine. I'm not picking on you necessarily. I'm going after the direction that the whole autograph market has gone in and how it has turned into a massive for-profit, almost sham, especially in comparison to what it used to be. Going way back again, in my personal involvement with Great Eastern Conventions, loosely connected with them when they were still operating on the East Coast many, many years ago, and big sci-fi conventions in the Boston area and so on, where I was first involved in a lot of this kind of stuff. And autographs were, for the most part, free. It was part of the show's promotion to have a celebrity come into a show and sit down and do signings. You bought your ticket and you came in and you were entitled to however many autographs were permitted, or however many the artist felt like signing if they had a personal limit. Or at the bigger sci-fi shows, for example, an autograph was $5 or $10. Literally, straight up, $5 or $10 for a signature. Unless they're really famous, then it might be $20. And adjusting for inflation from the early 90s, we're way away from those prices. Taking a look at Great Eastern Conventions again, who used to have a lot of really well-known comic artists attend the shows and do signings. And one that I've brought up before in the live streams was Todd McFarlane, who had been to some of the shows before. Free autographs. Free autographs. Are they free anymore? What does Todd charge for an autograph now? Prices, I believe, start at $160 just for the standard autograph. $160 for a standard signature, and it goes up from there. It continues to rise. Blue Ferrigno, whose signatures were like $5, or is now charging $100 and up, depending upon what it is. If it's just a standard 8x10, depending upon the show, you might pay up to $100 for it. Is that, if I remember correctly? And if you had anything else you wanted signed, if he will sign it, because sometimes he can be kind of hard-headed about that. Action figures or Hulk hands or whatever you got, the price continues to go up. Then, if you're going to take a picture, that's another charge. If you get a selfie, that's another charge, and so on and so on. And the autographs themselves have now turned into a business specifically. And part of the reason that they charge as much as they do, they try to justify charging as much as they do, many of these people, is, oh, well, you're going to turn around and flip it on eBay. Okay, well, let's tackle that argument. First of all, you've just sold your signature, okay? What that person now turns around and does with that autograph is their business. It's at their discretion. I'm sorry, that's the way I feel about it. If they take your signature and put it on eBay, that's on them. If they take your signature and burn it, that's on them. All right? I don't understand where a lot of these celebrities get the idea that because they think it might be sold, that gives them the right to upcharge to compensate for what they think they should have been worth. And so they keep pushing the prices up. Meanwhile, if you go to eBay and you look at completed auctions of your favorite celebrity, you tell me if the signatures that are being sold is more or less than what it would have cost. Especially when you combine everything together. You went to a show, you bought your ticket, you have transportation costs, perhaps meal costs. If it's a big show that you're attending, you may have even had to get a hotel room. Then you're paying for the autograph. Then you're paying maybe for a selfie. The meet and greet, which is going to be less than 60 seconds, where you say, oh yeah, I really liked such and such X movie. And they're like, yeah, whatever, okay, buddy, next. I mean, it's really almost not fair. It's kind of insulting in many cases, because I'd hate to break your heart, a lot of these guys, they hate doing it. There are some who they like meeting the fans. There are some people on the autograph circuit, man, they like talking to you. They like meeting you. They enjoy it. And there's a lot who don't. There's a lot who don't. And you know who they are because you've met them at shows. I don't need to run that over. People who, going around on the autograph circuit, that's their job, basically, at this point, because they have no other options. They have no other options. It's now their job to run around all over the country to different shows and do signings, and they don't like it. A lot of them don't like it. And it makes the experience even worse. It really does. But you've got these guys that are charging so much now. Look at Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill, I think his signatures start at, what, $400 or $450 for a standard autograph, and it goes up from there. So if you want something that's not like a piece of paper signed, you sign this lightsaber. Well, now that's $750. Turn around and try to sell it without authentication. And how much does the authentication cost? Because the only autographs that are really going to make any actual money on eBay, if you were flipping it, are with certification. Because otherwise, I don't know where you got that signature, right? It could be counterfeit. It could be counterfeit. Also, a lot of these shows are jam-packed with, we're beyond, at this point, A and B list celebrities. Honestly, once upon a time, there was A and B listers, and that's how it was for decades. In the modern era, in the last 20 years, you got C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J listers all the way down the line, where you go to a convention. One of the live streams that we did a while back was the ATL comic convention, which was anything but. And I didn't recognize almost anybody there. They had more than 70 people doing signatures. I probably recognized 5 or 6 of them. I don't know who these people are. Never heard of them. It's like, I know, maybe I'm out of tune. But, and then the biggest name that was on there didn't show up. That was Ric Flair, which I think, if I remember correctly, he had some kind of a surgery and he had stitches in his face, and he was just like, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I understand that. You know, I get it. And he runs around all over the place doing signings everywhere too, Ric Flair. Or you look at some of these larger names like, Michael J. Fox, right, from Back to the Future. Oh man, his range is really high. It goes all the way up to, I think, $1,500 for a signature, depending upon what you're getting signed currently. And you can look this up. I mean, I might be flubbing some of my numbers. I think it's as much as $1,500. Like if you brought him a guitar to sign instead of an 8x10 photo, he might charge you over $1,000 to sign it. And as I pointed out, man, if you love just getting autographs, you love collecting autographs, you want your favorite signature on something, that's fine. Don't make the mistake of thinking that you're adding value to something by getting it signed. I'll warn you about that right now. That's something that's really big in the Funko Pop market, because as much as fanatics claim Funko Pops will never die and Funko will go on forever. They're terrified of when it'll happen. And a lot of them will seek autographs to try to retain value on those Pops. I've had a lot of Funko Pop collectors confess that. I've heard that many times. Oh, well, it'll help it to hold the value. Not really. Not really. Think about how many signatures have been done. How many things did Stan Lee sign? Let's look at this. Stan Lee started doing signatures in like the early 70s. Early 70s. And continued signing all the way until he passed away. How many signatures of his do you think are out there? I picked on Lou Ferrigno earlier. Let's pick him up again. He's been on the show circuit since the early 90s. Like, I think the earliest show I saw him at was like maybe 1992. How many hundreds of thousands or even millions of things do you think he's signed since then? How much value do you think is going to be held there? The scarcity of an autograph is what makes it rare. If people are out there, no matter how much they're charging, and signing everything, where's the value? Where's the value? Shit, I don't know what to tell you. But it just irks me. And I know things change. But again, coming from my earlier experiences with shows where they were literally free, or they only cost a few bucks, $5, $10, something like that, $15 maybe, and so on, to where we are right now. And it feels really cheapened. It feels like people are doing it for all the wrong reasons, and it feels like these celebrities, no matter what their scale of celebrity is, are overcharging for a lot of it. And again, that's just my opinion. My opinion based on years of experience. Years of experience. And now I don't even care. I don't care about autographs anymore. I would rarely seek out an autograph. Rarely. The last time I sought out an autograph actually was Gil Gerard. Gil Gerard and Felix Silva were at a show some years ago before Gil Gerard passed away. And I got a signature from each of them on Amigo action figure. On a Buck Rogers and a Tweaky action figure. Talked to Gil for a while. And he was actually very friendly. Both of them were very friendly. It seemed like they actually at least appreciated being there. And I've seen other celebrities that, they look so agitated, I'm not sure I would even want to bother to approach them. But yeah, I used to do a lot of that, but then again, I didn't have to pay for them. Anyways, what do you think? Is it too much? Is there too much oversaturation of autographs? Are there too many of them out there? Are there too many celebrities doing signings? Are they charging too much? Or am I reading too much into it because I've got more of an old school feel? What do you think? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you get where I'm coming from. I sure hope you do. Share it if you can. Hype it if you don't mind. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of our other content. And if that is it, then what more can I say but thanks for watching. And we will see you again soon.